Mayor, and members of City Council. Thank you. This is exciting for us. I want to take just a moment before I do two introductions just to say that we are very fortunate to have a great professional organization and American Public Works Association in the state of North Carolina that is very supportive of doing education. We just had our annual meeting in June, and at that meeting there are recognitions and scholarship awards that are made. So we have two of the officials, the leadership from the American Public Works Association, the North Carolina chapter, here today to make those to give those awards to city staff members for their contribution to the APWA and furthering their education. I'm going to introduce both of them. And so when they get done, they can just come up and finish up. The first one is Russell Byrd. Russell Byrd is currently the president of the North Carolina chapter of the American Public Works Association. He's been a member of APWA for 11 years. He is the current member and previous chair of the awards committee. He represents the chapter with National Association of the Rules and Bylaws, and he also serves as the primary connection with the League of Municipalities on all issues associated with APA. So Russell will make the first recognition for the President's Award. The second one is Keith Pugh. Keith is the Director of Engineering Services with the City of Highpoint. He's been a member of American Public Works Association for 18 years. He is the past president. He was president in 2011. He currently serves as chapter chairs on the awards committee, so he will make the scholarship award to one of our city employees. And he also serves as a representative with the League of Municipalities, coordinating our efforts. So I will turn it over to Russell, who will make the announcement, and then he will turn it over to Keith. So thank you.
Good evening. Thank you, Kathi. Mayor Mannheimer and members of the council, it's a pleasure and an honor to be here tonight to again recognize one of your own for some outstanding service. It probably will not come to as a great deal of surprise when I call this person out. To allay any of the suspense, Kathi Willis is a true professional in every sense of the word, and I can say that with confidence. She began her stellar service to the North Carolina chapter of APWA as its secretary in 2008. She handles many, and I do mean many, tasks simultaneously and with apparent ease, always with a smile. Well, almost, unless you forget a submittal deadline for your report or you start a sidecar conversation during a board meeting. You may get a frown then. She handles our agendas, our minutes, our endless reports, our schedules, our contracts, and so much more, but obviously with a great deal of dedication. She's always prepared, always organized, and most importantly, always willing to pitch in and help whenever asked to, and more times than not, just to handle it without being asked. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the City of Asheville, particularly Greg Schuler and Kathi Ball, for their willingness to allow Kathi to participate in APWA chapter board meetings and other conferences and events, and for sharing her time and talents, her tremendous talents, with the chapter. I would be remiss if I didn't also take this time to thank her husband Lyle for sharing Kathy's personal time with us. I can only imagine the volume of work she does nights and weekends on our behalf. Without Kathy's invaluable contributions, our chapter would not and could not be one of the finest in the association. If there's anyone who deserves to be recognized for her outstanding contributions to the chapter, it would be Kathi. That is why I was proud and thrilled to present her and two other members of the board with the 2014 President's Award. It should be noted that she has received this honor on two other occasions, which speaks to her ongoing dedication and excellent, outstanding service to the chapter. It is impossible to me to adequately thank her for all she has done for our chapter. Please join me, Chapter Awards Chair Mr. Pugh, in this most deserved recognition of a true public servant, Ms. Kathi Willis. Chapter of the American Public Works Association proudly presents President's Award to Kathi Willis to recognize her extraordinary efforts during the year which she has contributed to the success of the chapter 2015. And before I turn the podium back over to Mr. Pugh for some further recognition, Ms. Willis is the absolute best.
We agree.
Well, and as Russell stated, thank you once again for allowing us to come here this evening to recognize a couple of folks. That's part of the fun part of what we do. Not only do we recognize these people during our annual meeting, but we love to come to their home turf and recognize them in front of either their elected boards or in front of their peers and their employees. I'm actually here tonight wearing two hats. I'll wear the hat of our scholarship committee and I'll wear the hat of our awards committee as well, because I've actually got two folks that I'd like to recognize in front of you this evening. The APWA North Carolina chapter has 4 different scholarships that we award every year. 3 of those go to full-time students in some sort of field that relates to public works, and the other goes to a city employee who is looking to improve their skills so that they can improve their chances at a better career in public works. And this year, our employee scholarship went to Mr. Lee Morrison. And Lee has been an employee of the City of Asheville since 2006. He's been attending classes to help him understand fully what is necessary to provide quality service to the citizens of Asheville. In addition to his schoolwork and his position as a construction inspector, Lee is a lieutenant at the Volunteer Fire Department and an Eagle Scout. He's only one class short right now of having his advanced certificate as a North Carolina Rhodes Scholar, which is a program offered through the Institute of Transportation Research and Education at North Carolina State. And he is certified in many aspects of his job, and he's a valued team member with the City of Asheville. So, if you will, and Lee received his check for this scholarship during our annual meeting, so I don't have another check for Lee, but I do want to recognize him. So, Lee, if you would. Now I get to put on my awards committee hat for one that is probably not expected this evening, but one that I'm sure is now expected by an individual in the audience. The North Carolina chapter also recognizes an individual who throughout the year is not a member of our association but helps the leadership of our association succeed. And we have one of those individuals here with us tonight. And this award is named after Miss Jean Seals, who for years worked behind the scenes to support her husband, Mr. Robert Seals, and his endeavors with our association. And I'm not going to go through a lot of embarrassing things like we did talking about him during our annual conference. But suffice to say that this individual embodies the ideals of that person working behind the scenes to help those people in leadership positions to succeed. And without further ado, I would like to recognize one of your retired City of Asheville employees, Mr. Lyle Willis, who was named with this award. And thank you. We appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you.